Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Tengoku Struggle, continuing Kikinosuke's route. It has been a couple of days for me, because it was a weekend, and I had to finish recording our other game, because I'm getting a little behind on that one. So, it's been a couple of days, and I'm like, shit, I don't remember what happened. I think Izami ran away, and we were trying to find her still. I think we were searching for her before. Yeah, okay. So yeah, okay. We continued to look around the Asakusa after that, but still found no trace of her. Right. So we're looking for a zombie. I mean, we have to be getting close to the end, I think. Um, but doesn't mean that's not going to take 2 hours. Who knows? Right around the beginning of sunset, we decided to head toward the temple. We haven't told Kikinosuke we're in love with him yet, so. Excuse me, have you seen a girl that looked like she might be in middle school come around here? Her name is Izami. Oh, Izami, I haven't seen her around for a few days now. She used to come by often to accompany Lady Shinobikni. I see. Thank you. If we can't find a single clue where she is, I'm sure she's in a building somewhere. The others are looking into hotels around here, too. I haven't heard back from them. My lady, we've been in the human realm for a little while now, but do you still not have any memories from where you were from when you were alive? He asked me so suddenly that all I could do was give him a blank stare. Why is he asking me all of a sudden? Unfortunately, I haven't remembered anything in particular. Well, I died around here. Ikanosuke? It was really all too sudden that I still didn't know what I should say. Holy shit. Sorry. Spam call. I think it was anyway. I'm just like, what the fuck is that? My phone. Oh my god. It was really all too sudden that I still didn't know what I should say. Okay, right, that's sorry. Yeah, I'm sure you're surprised. You don't have any clue why I brought this up, huh? Around the Edo period, while I was still alive, there was a big, deep canal here. I guess at some point it was filled back up. Oh, I didn't even know. The shrine and wisteria above these steps are the only things that haven't changed. I think it has to do with the power of hell that's here. I see. There was a child drowning here. I jumped to try and save them and just ended up being the one who drowned to his death. Oh, that's kind of sad. You're like, I was trying to save someone and I drowned. And I went to hell. Well, that sucks. I thought I was pretty good at swimming, too. But saving someone was actually harder than it seemed, and I just couldn't use my body as well as I hoped I could. Sensei Takamura says the end of someone's life is decided when their candles burn out, and I guess I was just fated to die at the age of 17. Wondered if it would be cruel to think that Sensei Nona would say something like that. Would it be cruel to think Sensei Nona would... Something funny about that. Is it cruel to think, yeah, he would say that? But yeah. He tried to save someone, even up to the moment he died. It's just, I'd always wondered if that kid was actually saved or not. It was so long ago, and it's not like I'd be able to see them again by coming here. But sometimes, I remember how the water felt back then. I feel like they were saved. Ikanosuke's eyes opened wide. He seemed so mature and so cold when he licked my blood before, but right now he seemed so cute. Really? Is it okay if I believe you? I'm sure you saved them, and you might have even passed by their ancestors here. That sure would be nice. Alright, I'll believe in that starting today, too. They wouldn't really pass by his ancestors. I think you mean descendants. Because, like, your ancestors are the people before you, your descendants are the people after you. So, if it's a kid he saved in the Edo period, these would be his descendants. I think she meant his descendants? You know? Could you imagine, like, you're like, oh, there's a story of my great-great-great... I don't know the time periods. Japanese, I don't know how long. It's not like, oh, in the 1920s where you're like 100 years ago. You know what I mean? I don't know when the Edo period was. I don't know the time periods. Really. You think I should at this point, because we played enough games that take place in certain, that I should get used to them, but I don't. Whatever. It's kind of like trying to be like centimeters and meters and kilometers, and you're like, the fuck? Speak American! You know what I mean? And you have to be like, Google, hold on, how many is it? Like, I'm never gonna get it. Okay? Fairly easy conversion, but like, you're like, wait, what? Your brain just kind of fails you in a moment. You're like, huh? You're like, stupid American school system, stupid America trying to just do everything opposite of England. God damn it, Dad! Just because you do, I'm gonna do the different things than you. Being a petulant child and fucking us all up. The rest of the world can do shit, and we're over here like, I don't know. But anyway, but could you imagine, like, walking around Asakusa knowing there used to be a canal there and, like, being like, oh my god, you know, there used to be a canal here, kids, and, like, your great-great-great-grandpa almost drowned in it. We wouldn't be here if he drowned, but he was saved, and, like, you're walking on a street that used to be, and, like, you have those stories? Like, I'm sure there are stories like that. You know what I mean? Like, we all have weird-ass fucking stories. Like, I remember back when that used to be a farm and not houses. And you're like, god damn, I sound fucking old. But, like, I'm pretty sure most people over the age of 8 have a story of, like, I remember when that was farmland and now it's all fucking houses. Because that's just basically all of modern society at this point. But you know what I mean? I use that as an example because I have stories like that. Like, my uncle's father owned a farm. My uncle had the farm, and, like, they worked on the farm, and the farm was behind their house, and we used to go for walks on the farm. We used to play in the corn. We used to actually go strawberry picking, like, legitimately. Like, go out and, like, I mean, you can do that now to a farm, but we used to just go out there in the backyard and do it, because that was basically the farm was the backyard. And, like, when you go, like, you know when you go pumpkin picking, and it's like, okay, you go, and then there's pumpkins in a field, and you just pick one up off the ground. No, we went real pumpkin picking, ready to hack the motherfuckers off the vines. Like, they do that for you now when you go pumpkin picking. Like, if you go into the field. I mean, I guess there's some places that might actually make you hack your own fucking pumpkin off the bush. Or the vine, whatever it is. Grows on a vine. But you know what I mean? Like, most of the time it's like a pile of pumpkins and you pick a pumpkin out of a pile. It's not real pumpkin picking. Like, not like when you go, like, apple picking or something where you're actually using the little thing and, like, you're taking an apple off the tree. You know what I mean? Like, you're actually getting a pumpkin off of the, like, sawing it off. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep, you know what I mean? Like, and playing in corn. Corn is very, very, very sharp. Like the corn leaves? Those are not fun. That hurts. But you know what I mean? We'd go quote unquote deer hunting. We didn't actually hunt deer, but my uncle called it that. We'd get in the back of his pickup truck and he'd drive onto the farm and we'd sit there and he'd creep along really slow with the lights off and be like, oh, look. And then we'd stop because you could see deer on the farm and then you'd go, oh, and then you'd sit there and you'd watch the deer. That's how we quote unquote deer hunt. We didn't actually hunt them. Okay. We'd just go out like spotting. I guess it's more like deer spotting. But we used to do that, and now it's just a bunch of fucking McMansions, like jammed in this spot that used to be a fucking farm. It's kind of fucking crazy. It's fucking insane. But, like, you're like, shit, like, I'm so fucking old. We have this, like, back in my day, that was all farmland, and now it's all McMansions. And it's like, but, like, that's, like, Kikinosuke's story. Like, some person is like, way back when your great-great-great ancestor, you know, almost drowned in the creek that used to be here that's now a road. You know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. It's just insane. But I mean, if you think about it, like, everybody's got stories like that. Somebody has like, okay, well, back when my great-grandfather was alive, like, you think about, like, when you stop and think, you're like, God, that's fucking insanity. Like, did you pass these stories down? But, like, yeah. Kikinosuke might have walked past that kid's descendants and they're telling stories, like, he could have, like, happened to, like, I don't know, listen, it's just amazing, okay, because history is fucking weird, and time is fucking bizarre, and, like, people just sharing the stories of their great-great-great-great ancestors, it's kind of insane. Kind of cool, you know? Anyway, Fujimori didn't get back to me in the end, and no word from Isami, right? Right. I tried sending a number of line messages to her after that. That's true. Sensei Nono said something about quote unquote Alan being part of this, so Fujimori. And Fujimori not responding to Kikinosuke. I'm wondering if he found Izami or something. You know what I mean? I'm kind of curious about that. I find that intriguing, like Fujimori didn't get back to you. Really? Put a pin in that, because I feel like that's going to come back somehow. But the messages were all read, though, so she's safe. I hope. What can we do? We'd put a burden on the others if we collapse from exhaustion by running around to find her. Let's head back. But not before we have our jaunt at the grocery store. This is ridiculous and weird, but I love it. That's right, we ran out of 2 bags of cereal, but there were 2 other flavors still. Oh, those! Apparently Yona got the curry flavor and Sharaku got the brown sugar flavored one. Okay, well, Sharaku's smart, because brown sugar is fucking amazing. Like, do you remember being a kid? Do you remember being a kid? I don't know if it was the same for everyone else, but, like, I remember being a kid, and, like, the brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts, you were like, those are old people flavors. You wanted, like, the strawberry. I wanted, like, the strawberry ones. Okay. I never got into the... Well, I was too... by the time they came up with the weird, like, wild berry and crazy weird shit. You know, but, like, I liked strawberry. I don't know if we ever had blueberry. I think we always just had strawberry and brown sugar cinnamon. And it's like, brown sugar cinnamon's old people flavored. Like coffee. When you're a kid, you're like, no, that's old people. I remember my mom giving me a sip of her coffee once when I was young. I was like, oh, that's disgusting. And now I'm like, it's crack for adults. Because, like, shit, I'd make a coffee right now. You know what I mean? But, like... So you wanted, like, the fruit-flavored ones or the candy-flavored ones or whatever, and now you're like, no, brown sugar cinnamon is, like, fucking legit. Don't get me wrong, I love me a strawberry Pop-Tart, and I like the chocolate chip ones when you can find them. Not the chocolate ones. Not the chocolate with the chocolate... No, they gotta be the chocolate chip ones. Because those ones, when you toast them, it is like chocolate chip cookie in a Pop-Tart form. It's fucking perfect. I don't like a ton of chocolate, but, like, those chocolate chip ones, those are good. Okay. And, or like when you were a kid, you're like, I didn't like the edges because it's like, oh, too much. You just want the filling stuff in the middle. And now I'm like, fuck no, the edges, some of the best parts of it. You gotta have a balance. The edge with the filling. You know what I mean? It's like pizza. You want that crust because you want the crust with the pizza. Like it's part like getting old is fucking weird. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But brown sugar cinnamon is fucking legit. And, like, as a kid, you were like, eh. Now you're like, fuck yeah! Brown sugar, cinnamon, everything! Yes! I'm serious. Someone's like, we have a brown sugar. Yes! Unless you tell me you also have peanut butter, then I'm very confused. Can we have brown sugar, cinnamon, peanut butter? Because then I'm perfect. Together? Sounds amazing. Anyway. But a fucking curry-flavored cereal? You don't know what the fuck. That sounds horrible. Oh, I knew it! I had a feeling it was those 2. It's always those 2. We gotta get some pickled plum for rice balls, too. Hey, don't you think it'd be good if we added the seasoning with the whitebait, seaweed, and sesame seeds? With whitebait, seaweed, and sesame seeds. What's whitebait? Is that a type of fish? What is that? I don't know fish. It would. It totally would. Let's get it. Next we need milk and also lemons to put in carbonated water. I want to tell her about everything. I don't think the talk about the river was everything he has to talk about. He seems the same as always right now, but I wonder if he's finished talking about it already. My lady, look! That ice cream from the other day! Let's get it and have some later after a bath. I love our random fucking excursions to the grocery store. Okay, that was water. I'm like, is this water running? Yeah. I wonder what's taking Kikinosuke so long. It's no use. I can't focus on anything. I can't keep waiting. You okay? Why you peeping? What's the matter? Been so much. Hey there. Has Kikinosuke gotten out of the onsen yet? He's been out for a while now. I think he's on the roof cooling off. Are you okay? Are you just peeping for the sake of peeping? Or are you peeping because, like, you guys have stuck in your throat or something? You're not normally this peepee. You don't normally peep, peep, peep. What? It's what you're doing. It's making sure you're okay, booger bird. You right, buddy? Ow! I know you don't like my nails, but I just trying to pet you. You're being a big fat jerk face. You're mean. You're mean, and I don't know why you don't love me. You're a brat. You're so cute. I just want to pet you, but you won't let me pet you because you hate my nails. I did my nails, and he hates them. He doesn't trust me. He's like, get away from me! He bites viciously hard. It's like, the thing about having nails, if you would let me pet you, you would understand they're better for scritching, because I normally don't have nails, because I sit there and I fiddle with my nails, and I'm always and I break them constantly, so, like, I literally have, like, stumpy little nails. So now, having my nails done, and, like, having fake nails, like, I just wanted to have nails and look nice for a few minutes. Okay, like, I want to try some shit, okay? It's been a while since I've done my nails, but, like, but you think, like, now you can actually scratch. Like, you can get a nice scritch out of these. You just don't trust them. If you let me scritch you, oh, you're gonna shriek. Really? Whatever. He's so fucking chatterboxy today. Why are you so talkative? Anyway. Ikanosuke, I brought you ice cream. Oh, sorry. I was gonna come get you once you got out of your bath. I'm basically in and out of the bath in an instant, so I don't really have a good idea how long girls usually take. In and out instantly is kind of gross. I hope you wash. Smell like a wet dog. I was waiting to have our ice cream. I mean, he would, because he's a dog, literally. But the truth is, I wanted to hear more about what he had to say. Someone just call us? Oh, I heard a beep. Well, I thought in the game. My volume's done super low, too, but... Do you listen to music up here sometimes? Yeah, I'm usually lying down while I do. I remembered how he was lying down on the floor with limbs spread out and started to think of how adorable he was again. What kind of music do you like, Kikanosuke? Want to listen? I was like, are we going to get... Yes, we do. We get a CG of us fucking sharing headphones while eating popsicles. Oh, this is that song from the zombie game. Yeah, I have the entire soundtrack, so when I have time, I do some image training of killing zombies while I listen to this. He's such a nerd. Look at his little fangs! They're so cute! Stop! You really like that game, huh? They're kind of adorable together. I ship it. It's a pretty cool song, though, right? Yeah. Being so close to him, it reminds me of back then. Oh, this one's adorable, too. I feel like it smells even better on you. Ever since that night, I continued to use that body wash. I was sure it was clear how I smelled as I had just gotten out of the bath. Him so close to me, I can't help but think he could hear my heartbeat. He probably can. He's got good hearing and senses and stuff. Well, Kikanosuke's ears and nose are both sensitive. Might have noticed everything already. Probably not. He's probably just as dumbass as we are. I stood there eating sweet, sweet ice cream while listening to the aggressive music. And beside me... Hey, my lady, tonight, is it okay if I tell you something about myself? I'd wanted to know all this time, but for some reason I could feel my fingers stiffen when I asked about it directly. Oh, fingers stiffen when asked about it directly, sorry. I'd like to hear, but I don't want you to force yourself to talk about anything painful. Ikanosuke gave a faint smile, or so it seemed at least. So, this... He lightly tapped at his forehead. It's a scar I got when trying to protect Isami when she was about to get hit when we were kids. Thinking about it now, I feel like my desire almost awakened when that happened. I thought, I can take this guy. But I also knew that would be bad, so I forced that feeling back down. I can't really explain how, but I just felt like I knew I'd become a monster. I didn't want him to have to say it, but now that he had, I was prepared to accept anything he would talk about. And then we ran away. We were shot and I left Izami. I talked to you a bit about Enoshima, right? Well, I couldn't stay there long either. I heard how I might reach a prosperous town people were calling Ito if I headed east and could make money there. So I ran away again. I ran away with no money and nothing but the clothes on my back. It was like a broken, wrung-out towel in no time.
My hair color's pretty creepy for people back then, right? I was beat up with sticks while weakened and unable to move. It's so funny because I guess his hair's supposed to be like gray, but it looks like a sandy, like I guess like but it looks like kind of like a sandy ash blonde to me than it does gray. But I guess it's supposed to be kind of gray. So, and I mean, I guess if you were a wolf, you'd have gray fur. But you know what I mean? It's like that's not like them saying like gray. I was like, oh, I didn't get that it was supposed to be gray. But it's kind of like when they do it in games and they're like, they always put blue hair and you're like, it's supposed to be like so black that it's blue and like, what's green? It's supposed to be like a weird ass fucking like you got chlorine in your fucking blonde hair. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so sometimes they're like his blonde hair and you're like, that's orange. That's literally like, that's like trying to tell me like Yona's blonde. They keep calling him a redhead, so at least, okay, get that. But you know what I mean? You're like, no, his hair's clearly fucking like reddish orange. Don't try to tell me he's blonde. But like Kikinosuke looks like an ashy blonde to me, so like I guess it's supposed to be their version of gray. I guess it's a warm gray, I suppose. But like I think like look at their bracelets, the handcuffs. That's gray to me. Like anyway, it's okay. His hair is gray, not a blonde color. Still weird. It's like I still have to process it mentally because my eyes still like see it and register in my brain as like, okay, he's supposed to be like ashy blonde, but anyway. And that's when I had that thought again that I could kill them. But I was just so scared of what might become of me. So I desperately endured it. Hey lady, is your house around here? Did you come by bus? The train? Want me to get a taxi for you? After going through something so terrible, can still go on not hating people? He's able to be so kind. What are you constantly peeping for? What is your deal? No, nobody wants to hear you. That's not true. People probably do want to hear you. But, like, you're just distracting me. If you want to read, you can read. But you gotta read in people talk. You can't read birds. Nobody understands bird language. What are you doing? What the fuck are you actually doing? You're, like, getting all weird and, like... You're very fidgety and weird today. What happened to you? Can I pet you? Can I pet you? What are you gonna do? I'm petting you. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. He's like, I let you pet me twice. That is it. No more pets. I'm constantly petting you. Do you see what I'm saying? Listen, I'm petting you, and the nails are not bothering you. They're not hurting you. No, they're not. You're being a big fat brat. Yes, you are. He's a big fat beast. Anyway, simmer the fuck down and shut up. No, that's not true. I know. Sometimes you chirp and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck are you making noise for? And then I'm like, you're just chirping. He's just so quiet half the time. Then when he chirps, I'm like, the fuck is up with you? And then when you chirp, it's when you're screaming. And then it's because you're playing. But like right now, it's like, well, no, okay, that was not. Oh, I have headphones on, and now my ear is ringing because I was so fucking loud. But what is your deal? You're normally very quiet. Most people don't know you're here until you're like trying to suffocate me by stuffing yourself in my esophagus. And then I'm like, oh, birds jamming in my throat. But like, you will not stop moving back and forth. And then you're like peeping, and you're like doing a like, weird chicken dance. Like, why are you shrieking? Like, what the fuck is wrong with my bird? What is wrong with you today? Why are you shrieking? What is the matter with you? Simmer down, buttface. So cute, but you're kind of driving me bonkers. I mean, I love you. Don't get me wrong. Nothing's wrong with you. You're just acting a little... You're acting a little feisty right now. You're not normally like this. Do you want to go downstairs and play? I can chuck you over the banister. You go downstairs. You know how to fly over the banister and go downstairs if you want to play, right? You are a free bird. You are allowed to just throw yourself over the edge. You won't. Because then he can't see me and he doesn't know how to fucking function. This is the sounds he makes when he's downstairs and can't see me. He's literally in my face right now. You can tell because he's screaming into the microphone. Stop it. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to reading. I'm going to need you to stop because it's that shriek. Goddamn bird. You keep shrieking. I have headphones on. And twice now you have shrieked in the vicinity of my ear. Now my ear is ringing and I think I'm deaf. Please stop. If you don't stop, I will take you. Listen. If you don't stop, I'm going to throw you over the banister. I really will. Anyway. If it were me, I'd keep hating them all. They wished for some water. Just a single ladle of water and kept walking. when I found that well. I felt an intense sensation of me getting pulled in, and when I came to, I was floating in the Sanzu River.
What?
Sensei Takamura is the one who found me. I was weak, lost, and you know how Sensei Takamura can appear. I thought I was about to be killed. It was all so confusing. I guess I just couldn't hold down my primal instincts anymore. Before I knew it, I turned into a wolf and was trying to attack him. My desire fully awakened at that point. But Sensei Takamura was 1,000 times more skilled at fighting than me, and I was beat around and knocked out in an instant.
You were knocked out? I suppose I can imagine him getting ruthlessly knocked around by Sensei Nono. Regardless of the circumstances, I feel that couldn't be helped.
When I came to next, I was in a room in Enma Palace, put into clean clothes, and there was even a feast in front of me. And also, I was wearing this collar.
I wonder if that helps him control his abilities. Huh. So that's
when Sensei Takamura told me to choose right then and there whether to use my power to hurt others or protect them. I didn't completely understand what he meant and kind of just answered without really thinking. When I said I didn't want to hurt people, he told me I could go back to the human realm.
Never knew all that happened. It's interesting.
And then he brought me through the well again. I think the gates of hell didn't exist back then. So it was all well and good to have gotten back to Edo, but I did need money to live, right? I was thinking about what to do as I passed by a kabuki theater. I saw a play of Goemon Ishikawa being performed. That's when I knew.
So everything is all Goemon's fault because he's like, I saw a play about him and I went, I gotta steal like that motherfucker, and that's the only reason he went to hell. Aside from the accidental fall down the well. But at that point he probably hadn't done anything wrong. Good job, Goemon! Look what you did to our poor precious little wolf boy! Dragging him down a path of darkness. Every single one of them's gonna have a story like, Goemon was kind of like fun, so I decided to be a whore. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be something. And we're all gonna trace back to that bitch.
Grew up not knowing about the outside world at all, so the great thief Goemon Ishikawa, who gave the money he stole to the poor, was so cool.
Yeah, like Japanese Robin Hood, basically.
For better or worse, it's easy to get around with this body of mine, so I was able to break into any house I wanted to. And then I gave away half the money I stole, and the other half, all went to food. So, is he really deserving? I guess because technically he stole. It is a bad. But, he stole to feed himself so he wouldn't die, and then not like he stole and then became a rich bastard. I couldn't help but burst into laughter and quickly apologized. I'm sorry. I know it's not a story to laugh about. It's fine if you do. Everyone knows I'm a big eater. But that started happening after this collar was put on me. I'm sure it consumes that energy to keep some sort of balance against my power.
Oh, wow.
Back then, I thought what I was doing was way better than being a thief of offering boxes. But stealing's still stealing, huh?
Stealing is a crime. I'm sure I would have said that if I were still in my days in Hell Guardian school.
I wanted to be someone who could help others.
This is kind of like you're getting to the point right now where you're like, he's a good boy, like he was stealing out of necessity to live, and then still giving away and helping poor people. So, yes, it is still wrong, but you're doing it for noble reasons. But, it also depends. Are you just like, hey, I have money. I've worked for my money. Doesn't mean someone can break in my house and steal because they have less money than me. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? But I'm also, but it's one thing if you're like, well, I'm stealing from that crooked, horrible, abusive person who's making millions of dollars off slave labor, and then you know what I mean? There's always, probably someone who's awful and kind of deserves their comeuppance, but you don't really know who you're stealing from. You're like, well, this person has money and I don't, so I'm going to steal from them. And you're like, yeah, but that person could have also struggled at some point and has finally made it to the point where they don't have to struggle, and now you're stealing from them, and that's fucked up. Or they could be a complete and utter tool bag like some super fucking like the 1%ers, and you're like, oh, they're probably a lot of them are probably big ass fucking douchebags and aren't gonna miss that $20 you stole out of their wallet. You know what I mean? Does that make it better? Not really, but also yes. You know, there's a morally gray area sometimes, and like, but like it's kind of like The Good Place. You've ever watched that show where you're like, you get to the point where it's like, let's do things to try to see people who did suck if they can kind of redeem themselves and get better. I mean, that's kind of what they're doing here anyway. Like, you're a model prisoner and so you can go work in the outside world, but you never get to go to the heavenly realm. You never get to progress. You just like, I just don't get tortured as much. Like, you know? And like sometimes he's getting tortured the same as people who are stealing and that are probably like 10 times worse human beings than him stealing to just like feed himself. You know? Like, does the punishment fit the crime? Maybe, I don't know. It brings up interesting questions that makes you think about this stuff, and you're like, it's a morally gray area, because like stealing is wrong. And like his motivations for stealing to not die and to give away money to poor people to help other people also not starve to death, that's kind of noble, but it really depends on who you're stealing from. Because if you're stealing from a decent person who worked really hard for their money, then that kind of makes you look like a jackass. But if you're stealing from someone who's a complete and utter cunt bucket, then like, do we feel bad about it? No. But should we? Maybe. Ooh, and then it just puts you in this loop of like, and then, but you got to decide for yourself whether you feel bad or not. I'm just going to pretend he was stealing from rich assholes, and it makes it okay. And I just, like, I think you did fine, buddy. You know? But then again, one person's asshole is another person's bestie, so you never really know.
I was saved by Sensei Takamura, so I wanted to help someone else as a form of thanks for that.
So I condemned myself to hell.
I was amazed someone was willing to help someone like me. Even when Ben 10 wasn't willing to help me. He's like a saint from hell, I guess. Or maybe that's not quite right, huh?
I felt the heat growing deep in my eyes and struggled to hold back some tears.
Well, I guess a part of it was just me wanting to believe I was doing something good. Just like I mentioned before, but back then, no one had this hair color. Everyone was terrified of me with his hair, calling me a beast. The only thing some kid without any connections could do was steal.
I wanted to touch his hair that was shunned from the world. I wanted to hold him in my arms. His injured forehead, I wanted to kiss it. Well, we have.
And I'll mention this too, but I really do respect Sensei Takamura. Although I might be arrogant to call myself his right hand, hold on.
Sneeze came out of nowhere. Thought I could finish that sentence, but nope.
I want to be of use to him, so I worked hard to learn about the human realm. Well, I guess because of that I got hooked on playing games. But with how much Sensei Takamura helped me, and for how little I couldn't protect Izami, I wanted so much to just help people. In the end, I wasn't able to help anyone.
Ikanosuke? What are you talking about?
It's true though, right? Fujimori's run off somewhere and Izami won't even try to listen to me. And about that kid I tried to save in the river, the reality is I don't know what actually happened to them. I mean, I really was happy you said that they were saved, and I know there's no way to know it didn't happen now. Man, I'm really so awkward, it's just uncool.
If you say that again, you're getting shocked.
Huh?
You found that old woman's handkerchief.
Well, that was just really easy.
And Fujimori still has your card, right? Don't talk like you'll never see him again.
I really am lame, huh?
What's wrong?
Be honest, I want you to be able to depend on me, but I'm the one who's always dependent on you and being helped by you. At first I thought I could win by getting stronger. But once I get strong, what is there after that? Even if I become the strongest in the entire world, I still couldn't hurt Izami.
It takes real strength to not hurt your sister, though. I mean, you really just shouldn't hurt your sister, but still.
Here I am saying I want to help others when I can't even protect you or Azami. I'm just arrogant. Don't know my place.
Did they have to be siblings? A wish to curse father and Sensei Nono flickered across my mind. But it's not exactly right to blame those two either.
I'm sorry. I just can't do anything.
It's all right, Kikinosuke.
No, it's not. We have to get the escapees back so that you don't turn into foam, right? Which means, if I don't win against Azami, you'll disappear, right? No, I can't let that happen. I just can't. I want to get stronger. For you to have to suffer or even disappear just because I'm weak, I don't want that. But what meaning is there to raising our blood bond when I don't want to fight?
Tears in his eyes shined in a faint gold color. I suddenly felt a desire for the beautiful sparkles I witnessed. Right now, if I were to embrace him and kiss him, I wonder what sort of face he would make.
Just do it and find out. I guess it really was just hopeless for me to help anyone else, huh?
That's not true, I promise. I gently squeezed Kikinosuke's hand.
What?
Someone said something just like that in a novel I read in the past. They said that I was arrogant to think I could help others. But I think it's much better to reach out to help than not.
My lady?
I know I don't have any memories of my life. I have seen many sins at Father's side and while in Hellguardian school. That's why I was so distrusting of human beings and men up until coming to the human realm. But now, my mind has changed a bit. That if someone had helped those people in some way, they might not have committed their sins. Well, I'm sure that thought is an arrogant one. Still, I think there are times when you're truly drowning in a sea of suffering and can't do anything on your own to climb out of it. If someone were to reach out a hand to them, I'm sure it's possible they might be saved too. That's all it is. There are also those who can be saved from you reaching out to them. Better not to think about it too hard. If you want to help them, then help them. That's fine. At the very least, I admire how you want to help others. I felt Kikinosuke's hand stiffen a bit. That's why I squeezed it even harder.
I see. So even Azami's brother was blessed to be around the good adults back then, too.
Right, Kikinosuke was saved by Sensei Nono. Even though I didn't have any memories to suffer under, I was protected by Father and guided by Sensei Nono. But for Azami, she didn't come across anyone. A thought like this may have yet been another arrogant one. At the very least, this time, Azami can still be helped, even starting now.
You think so?
Also, gave me a reason to paint my nails.
Huh? Look at him blushing.
I'm sure I wouldn't have bought them if I came across them on my own. I'm thanking you for helping me get them.
Oh!
You mentioned just earlier that you didn't know if raising our blood bond would do anything. There has been. A really important one. I've come to know so many great parts about you, Kikinosuke. Oh, we're killing this boy. I love it. She's just holding his hand saying these things and he's...
Oh my god, I'm dying.
Don't you think that's more than enough meaning to it? He fell silent and spun the stick from his ice cream around as if pondering what to say. Kinosuke?
Well, actually, there was one more thing I was hoping to get a chance to say.
If somebody fucking cockblocks us right now when he's about to confess his feelings, I'm gonna get so fucking mad.
You wanna bustin' in? Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? Son of a bitch! To me, it's something really important.
Really important. Does he have more to talk about? Scared. No idea what it could be. My stomach shrunk in on itself so much from how nervous I felt that it hurt. But still, regardless of what it might be.
Well, this morning, Thanks for getting me water to drink.
It was so unexpected. I was dangerously close to letting out a shout. That's not exactly the confession I was hoping for, but
I was barely conscious, but I was still sure I heard your voice. And you were on my back the whole time until I fell asleep, didn't you?
at this point I knew I couldn't deny it or blush it off in any way. Or brush it off. I was like, blush it off. Like, girl, brush it off in any way. Because she's blushing furiously, so. But is something like this really so important?
I wanted to be a guy who could help you, but I'm the one being saved. Even now. I'm really empathetic.
Kikinosuke?
This morning, I want you to be my prince.
What we said in our dream. Oh. He's like, I didn't hear anything. And you're like, oh, thank God. You did.
You jumped up awake shouting that. Have you already decided who you want to be your prince?
He's like, I want it to be me, but I'm hoping. Oh, girl, just tell him the truth.
You said this yesterday too, right? About how you wanted a man who could satisfy you?
Felt as if my face would ignite in flames. I knew I should have been more responsible with what I said.
Well, I don't think this is where I should be trying to jump in or anything. But just for reference for the future, I was hoping you'd tell me.
Wonder what I looked like right now. All I knew was that the stars were beautiful tonight. He's like, I want you to tell me who you want you to be your prince. And he's all awkward because he wants it to be him. And he's got a sad little face. And she's like, all I know is the stars are beautiful tonight. Yeah, that is definitely like awkward people thoughts right there.
I'm dumb. So really, I just don't know what it means if you feel something's important.
I don't know what it means when you feel something's important, sorry. You don't know?
They say that everyone who spends a long time in hell has some sort of lingering connection or attachment to something, right? My lingering connection definitely used to be Isami.
Used to be?
I was so frustrated that I couldn't protect her and wanted to believe she went to the heavenly realm so badly. But if she were also reborn, I wanted to see her living happily and peacefully. That's what I hoped before coming to the human realm.
It's so funny because she's kind of forgotten him being like, don't you dare hurt the person most precious to me. And then Azami's like, I'm not precious to you. And she just like, we just like went shoop right over our head. And we're like, huh, what's going on? Girl, do you not remember that he basically called you the most precious person? She's in denial.
But I started taking interest in you.
Oh, thank God someone's got the balls to say it, because I don't know if we had it, so.
I realized what was happening pretty early, but at the same time I wasn't sure of what to do and also thought I was being so selfish. My parents had already left the world and a zombie was killed right in front of my eyes. I just kept losing everything that was important to me. Even if at some point I'd come to see you as someone important to me, I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to protect you. I wondered what I'd do if I couldn't save you.
Beautiful stars were blurred slightly through some of my tears.
That's when King Emma told me that I could only carry one person on my back. Izami's really important to me. She's so precious to me. But I'm not Izami's prince. And I want to carry the woman who's next to me, here, right now.
I was close to dropping my stick from my ice cream. My nervousness grew even worse, and I could feel a heat rising from the back of my neck. We gotta give him like an A+ for this fucking confession in these lines. Like, this is like gold. Like, boy, Jesus! Beautiful! Bravo! Let's give him applause for the, okay, I'm sorry. Little round of applause for Kikinosuke. Lightly clapping. Bird's getting mad because my nails were anywhere near him. Ugh. Wait, did I read that? I don't know, hold on. Oh no, I read the, okay, yeah.
I felt it was a bit insensitive to feel that way. My feelings just started getting all messed up. There are all these great guys around you. The Great King, Sensei Takamura, Goemon. I don't think I could really do much that they couldn't. If you were to ask me what I could do, there wouldn't be anything great, really. That's why I couldn't say anything. I thought it's better if I just give up. That's what I thought about while I'm here looking up at the stars.
Just admit you love him and kiss him already. Jesus, this poor thing. So frustrated. I thought of how if he was going to say all this, I would have painted my nails. I love her fucking thought process. I have no idea what's happening, but the stars are pretty right now. And you're like, yeah, no, I get that. And then she's like, God damn it, I'd have painted my nails if I knew you were going to confess your feelings, jackass. That awkwardness. I love it so much. It's so good.
But you talked about wanting a man who could satisfy you.
No, that was...
I guess a guy like me isn't cut out for you. You don't know that. I'm not cut out to be your prince.
Don't let him go. Tell him now. I couldn't stand to look at his face. That's why I tried mimicking him and twirled my stick from the ice cream around. I only want to eat cereal with you, Kikinosuke.
Yeah,
It depends on how you phrase that. Like, I only want to eat cereal with you, Kikinosuke. Like, you're like, oh, and I only want to eat cereal with you, Kikinosuke. Then there's two, same sentence, two very, very, very different presentations and meanings. But you're like, I only want to eat cereal with you, Kikinosuke. And he's like, she only wants to eat cereal with me. Right, I told you I wasn't. You're like, no. You didn't get the inflection in what I was saying. But you're the one who said you'll introduce me to someone.
That's what I'm saying. I know I'm not good enough. But you also said you didn't need to find a lover too.
Right. He did say that. Oh, they're both awkward idiots.
Well, how about we just call it even then?
Did she just kiss him on the cheek? Oh, she did. Look at the little CG. It's so adorable. I felt it was too soon for this, but I also felt my words weren't enough anymore. Yes, because you just said I only want to eat cereal with you, and he took that as like, you're not interested in him. And not, I only want to eat cereal. He's not getting what you're saying. He's not getting what you're putting down because you didn't put the inflection in there right. You didn't phrase it right. Or like, you said it probably awkwardly. Get it? I would do too. But like, so he didn't get the vibe. You are my prince. Now that's clear. After I said that, I felt an intense rush of embarrassment. But that was the only thing that came to mind that I could say.
Huh?
Who else would there be? Ikinosuke's shoulders jumped. It's adorable. Awkward nerds in love. Oh, I love it. So if you start liking another queen somewhere, I'll make you pay. I felt so embarrassed and was about to run away. Inosuke? The threads again? You're in pain, right?
No, wait. It's a lot better than before. It's not so bad that I can't bear it.
But,
well, if you want to help me again, forget my forehead. I want it here.
And now we have a real kiss. Oh! Oh! It's so pretty. This time, he was the one who kissed me. Yeah, but last time you kissed him on the forehead and you just kissed him on the cheek. This time it was a real kiss on the lips. My squirming arms were grasped tightly and his lips locked deep onto mine. Kinosuke?
I'd never like any other woman. I told you before, didn't I? I'd never make a mistake like that.
Sweet wave of pleasure spread from our interlocked lips. After learning of all kinds of indecent sins within the crushing hell, I felt I never needed to promise myself to a man so long as I lived. Oh my god, the way they just he parted slowly. I don't know if it was just I was reading and I just saw it but it looked like they actually slowly moved the CG away. Not like it went from kissing to barely apart. I don't know if I just hallucinated. Holy shit. But it was so because I was looking at the text but I could see it move. So I don't know if my brain just put in the sliding away or they actually physically did that in the CG. But shit, even just hallucinating it, it's just impactful. I don't know. Anyway.
And that's why you can't disappear.
The truth was somewhere within me. I'd always wished it. I might someday meet someone who would carry me across the Sanzu River, and that should be going on, but like, whatever.
So let's eat cereal in the middle of the night again, yeah? And have ice cream too.
That's right. The reason why his lips were so sweet was because we were just eating ice cream. Yeah, let's have some again. But like, look at how they're both like, their little eyes are like dreamily open, just barely open, and they're blushing. It's adorable. My first kiss was more embarrassing than I could imagine, but it was so nice. I didn't know I could stop it. I didn't know I could stop it. I feel like that's phrased wrong because I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Anyway, Inosuke, are you sure you're all right?
I'm fine. In fact, I think that worked better than on the forehead. So let's kiss more. I love you, Basie.
It's only natural for such perverseness to be given a terrible punishment. Doing something so sweet and so pleasant, no one could help but lose themselves in something like that. Okay, a perverseness. Kissing someone that's not, it's okay. It's okay, girl. This is okay. This is not what you go to hell for. I love you too.
No, they did. They absolutely slid. I glanced up right, but they did. They didn't just like CG's there apart. They slid it to like, holy shit. They like animated that. I'm not crazy, right? Holy fucking shit. That's just impressive. That somehow makes it slightly more impactful than just here's a CG where they're kissing and then they're slightly apart and then they're kissing. Just the sliding together, just that little slight animation is just like, fuck. I don't know why I'm so impressed by it, but I am. As if even stopping to take a breath was a waste, we simply ate away at each other's lips. That's a way to phrase it. I'm not moaning. Or panting. But I will say, Kikanosuke. I loved him. While kissing him over and over, I felt those words within the core of my body. I didn't want to separate from him. I didn't want to disappear. I wanted to live by his side. Kinosuke, love you. Love you so much. I wanted to be bound to his soul. While trembling at the desire budding inside me, I grasped tightly onto his back. Spacey, I love you. As he whispered sweetly to me, Kikanosuke's hands gripped my waist. Oh, are we are there, game. Are we getting some spicy shit? I could feel the heat from his hand over the thin cloth of my dress, causing even my fingertips to tingle. I love you. One more of you. He is a 17-year-old boy, so. Well, he is just a man in general, so, like, I don't expect any of them otherwise to not be thirsty desperate, so. Girl knows she's a little bit too. This isn't enough at all. More. Give me more of you. I mean. Okay. Kikanosuke aggressively pushed his body against mine, almost causing me to fall over. Okay, well, don't get aggressive, but. Wait, Kikanosuke! No, I won't. I can't. Wait, please? No, I seriously can't. I know I'm just being selfish, even after being so weak just earlier. But you just smell so nice, and your lips are so sweet, and my body just can't take it anymore. His desire for me without listening to reason made my skin burn from embarrassment. But a little bit of, you're like, I kind of feel it too. Wait, sit, boy! Huh? I have to prepare myself mentally. I see. You're right. Sorry. Came on a bit strong, huh? I love the fact that you commanded your boyfriend to sit like he's a dog, because he is one. And literally he was like, huh? Okay. Kind of like they played into that a little bit. That's fucking hilarious. For a minute there, I lost myself. Right now, he was in the form of a human, but I felt as if his wolf ears were folding down in disappointment. It isn't right for me to put it all on him.
I wanted it too. Um, Ikinosuke, if you wait tonight, once everything's taken care of, I promise to give you a reward. I promise I'll give you a reward, i.e. my body. I mean, listen, I know it could be a little inappropriate. I'm like, no, I can't wait. Like, I'm gonna, like, all men are wolves. That whole fucking, and he literally is a wolf, and then they just put that in his character. Like, good job. Okay. Like, listen, there's always, men are wolves. You have to watch out for the men. You're like, no, control your fucking penis. Okay, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Like, I usually hate that fucking mentality when they put it in games, and you're like, oh no. But he literally is a wolf. He does have animal instincts. So kind of doing that. And of course, again, all of our boyfriends in this are kind of trash in a way, even though he's kind of like a little cinnamon bun. Look, he's a cinnamon bun that was thrown in the garbage. And it's like you picked it out of the trash. Like it's covered in like garbage and lint and like God knows what else. But it's still a cinnamon bun, you know? Don't eat cinnamon buns out of the trash. But you get what I'm saying. You get the analogy, right? But like he's still a wolf. So like taking that being he's a little bit trash, so we're gonna make him a little like, no, I can't wait, blah blah blah. But then he's gonna be a good boy and actually wait, and you're like, all right, I see what you did there. I see the balance that you played, and you did that thing where you're like, no, don't make me mad at him. Don't push that line. And then he backed down like a good boy. No was no, and he heard you and was like, okay. And it's like, oh fuck, I got a little. But he's not being a dickhead. He literally is a wolf with animal. Like, you see what they did here, and you're like, you know, this is actually kind of brilliant. And this is the time that I will accept him getting a little bit where you're like, whoa, 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 you're getting close to that line game where I'm gonna slap you and be like, no, don't give me that bullshit that like all men are wolves and they can't control themselves. And like, oh well, nuh-uh, don't do that. Because like, even if I love a character, I hate when they do that. You're like, oh please, don't give me that bullshit. Oh, that's the one. Even if I like a character, we've seen it before where you're like, no, that whole line and that whole mentality is bullshit. I hate that little instance, okay? But like, they were getting close to him being like that, but he reined himself in. Like the good little cinnamon bunny is. But him getting close to that line works perfectly for him because, again, all of our boyfriends are kind of trash. So you expect them to be a little, and he has animal instincts. He literally is a wolf. So like, kind of fits very well. And this is the time it was done well, where you're like, whoa, look at that, look at you. Aw, good for you. Yeah, I'll accept it. I'll allow it. Is okay. The one time it works. To be fair, if all of our boyfriends do this kind of, it works for all of them, because again, they're all a little bit of trash, so you can take that. But it's always when it's supposed to be a nice character, and then they act like that, and you're like, bull fucking shit. You give it to me, the trash character, you like the Yangs of the world, you doing shit like, yeah, well, you're garbage, so like, okay. Hot garbage, and don't get me wrong, I'm here for it, but like, I expect that from you, not from good ones. But like, I think it balances really well with Kikinosuke being a wolf, and like, I see what you were doing there, game, and like, you're cute. See what you were doing there, and you did it well, and like, you know, A plus. Anyway, yeah, but I'll give you a reward, like a Scooby snack. Me being the Scooby snack, by the way. Really? He's like, huh? You saw those ears perk up. Right now, he was in the form of a human, but I felt as if his wolf ears just jumped up in excitement. Exactly. Really? So for now, be a good boy. Alright, then I'll hold back for now with this. Kinosuke's lips covered mine again. Oh. Spacey. I see. Couldn't taste any more ice cream, but our lips still didn't separate for a while. Oh. That's beautiful. Oh, stage 10 is done. Regret and ice cream. Blood bond. 100%. Woo! I'm gonna guess chapter 11 might be the last chapter then? Because we've confessed our feelings. I know nothing's actually changed on my face, but I feel like I'm looking pretty good today. No, come on now, that's impossible. I'm just imagining things. No, when you feel good, you project, and therefore look better. I wonder if I can look at Kikinosuke in the face today. I thought to brush my hair one more time. Yes? And there's someone here to see you in Kikinosuke. Someone to see us? So early in the morning? I know we're roughly at time, but we'll go a little bit. Yay! I was hoping it was Fujimori.
And come on, don't be so nervous. Have some coffee. I know this is a hive of villains, but we're not gonna suddenly skin you alive or anything.
Also, they were the ones that saved your camera, so I feel like you would trust them.
Oh, no! That's not what I'm thinking. Miss Enma and Mr. Uga are always treating me so well.
What's wrong? Could it be...
Ah, that's right. I also wanted to give my thanks to everyone. Thank you both so much for saving me some time ago. My name is Shin Fujimori.
Thanks. Oh, I thought I recognized you. You were that kid who was getting mugged that one time.
Right. And just as you see, my camera's fine thanks to all of you.
Well, glad to hear it. People like you are the ones who get targeted.
Oh, but I haven't been picked on lately. I think it's thanks to Miss Enma and Mr. Uga.
Fujimori took the coffee cup in hand and looked as if he was trying to find what to say.
Oh, this coffee is really good. You could open a cafe with this.
That makes me happy to hear. I guess I should think about starting up a Goemon cafe. Come by and help when I do.
Fujimori, if you've gone out of your way to come here, it's about Isami, right? Sorry about all that.
What?
I'm sorry for getting you involved when you're not supposed to be at all. That must have been really scary. No, it's fine. It's just... But I don't want you to hate Izami. The reason she's like that is all because of me and... No! I wanted to apologize to her. Izami? Why? The reason why I ran away back then wasn't because I despised her or was disgusted. I just didn't know if it was right for me to be there and just got confused. He's like, I was so turned on and I had no...
Okay, you're not a freak, thank God.
It was really pathetic. Really embarrassed. And I'm sorry I couldn't reply to your lines. I was thinking the whole time what I might be able to do to help, but also that I'd also just be in the way. In the end, I couldn't think of anything I could do and decided that I wouldn't have been any help. But I at least want to apologize for running away. I'm sure I hurt her because I did.
Fujimori, this kid is so adorable. We're adopting him. We're absolutely keeping him. Keeping this stray. He doesn't seem to have family. Kid wanders around, doesn't even go to school, but we're gonna go. Listen, everybody needs a stray pet. We're adopting a stray child. Guys, man harem, this is our son now.
So, you two are going to go see Izami. Please take me with you. Please!
Can it be, kid, that you've fallen for her?
What?
I see. So that's what's going on.
No, wait, that's not it! You're mistaken!
You gonna try and play dumb even while you're blushing so hard?
No! Even if she did like me back, I'd be nothing but trouble for her. Fujimori, stop talking like that. It's fine, really. I'd feel so bad for her since it would look so awkward if I were next to her, and it's not like I'm hoping for anything either.
You should. If you've fallen for her, go and get her. This big dumb lug. I love him so much. He might be my favorite so far. Listen, because he's such a big fucking ass. But, like, right now he's having a beautiful little moment. Like, if you've fallen for her, you go get that girl. What are you? You're the big asshole. You are such the crunchiest fucking marshmallow. My God, I love it right now. I cannot wait to bang you in your route. You are going to be the squishiest marshmallow ever, aren't you? I love it.
You're only able to be so positive since you're so tall and strong. I'm a loser in life.
And then you're good with never seeing her ever again.
Huh?
It's true, Fujimori. Since she's an escapee, there's no telling what might happen to her when she goes back to hell.
And of course we'll fight for her, but neither King Emma nor Sensei Takamura are exactly sympathetic to others. So she'll...
Hell's a rough place to be. I'm sure she'll be punished pretty badly by the Hell Guardians there. Poor girl.
Yeah, it's a place horrible enough to make even a guy like me scream in pain. There are especially horrible tortures for escapees, so she might not ever show up again.
No, that can't happen.
All right, then go confess to her.
We're breaking this poor child, and I love it. Look at all of our adorable dads. Good dadding. Good job, guys. Go on then, go for broke. And if it doesn't work out, I'll introduce as many girls to you as you want. You know, he's had sex with them all, so I wouldn't, don't. He's a whore, don't. I don't want any other girls.
No, Fujimori, all of us here just now heard what you said. If you go back on your word, you better be ready.
Poor child, I love him so much. I love her adopted son. We will protect him and make sure he gets his little hell girl. Aw, this is the weirdest fucking game. Game is so fucking weird. It is so fucking bizarre. Why are we having such a good time when they talk about torture and there's horrible... God knows what's gonna happen in endings, but, like, why is it... There are some, like, heavy topics, like, obviously, like, the moments and, like, the sad backstories and stuff. You're like, oh... But, like, it's so... There's so many lighthearted little goofy slice-of-life moments. It's a weird, weird thing. It's a great balance. I feel like they're doing a good balance with, like, having these slice-of-life moments and then having the heavier moments, but, like, overall, the picture, I'm like, yeah, we got some heavy topics, and there's going to be moments where you're like, oh. Especially with all the trigger warnings, right? But, like, overall, you're like, it's kind of like a fluffy game about hell. I don't know how to process that mentally. You know what I mean? Like, we finished playing Virtue Evermore, and that had little slice-of-life fun moments, but the overall feel of the game was just kind of dark and sad and heavy, even though you had those perfect little happy moments. You know what I mean? That is the perfect encapsulation of a game of, like, you know, even when you're in your darkest times, you're in a very sad moment, you still can have little bright spots. You know what I mean? Think about it like when you're in the midst of, like someone passed away. There are moments where you still, like, oh my God, you can laugh with the people at a funeral or a wake because you're thinking of a happy moment that you shared with the deceased. And you're like, oh my God, yeah, that was great. And you're like, the overall moment that you're living in right around that is, like, dark and depressing. But that tiny instantaneous second is like a little bright spot. That's Virtue. It's like trauma. It's all trauma with tiny little bright spots. It's like the dark night sky with tiny little spots of stars. You're like, oh, look, a little moment. Happy moment. This one is like the complete opposite. It's like the reverse image of a night sky where you're like, everything is like, we've got these dark little specks everywhere, but overall, you're like, this is a great time. We're having a good time. This is fun. And it feels weird. Because that's a normal game. We have dark, heavy moments, but it's kind of lighthearted and fun overall. But it's very fucking weird to be thinking that about a game with as many dark spots as this have, where we're denizens of a hell and everybody's being tortured and everyone's out of... And you're like, this is... I feel like this... It shouldn't work. It shouldn't work logically, and yet it kind of does, and I'm very confused about it. Like, it's confusing. It's baffling how we're doing this. But I'm having a great time, and we're having fun. And I'm confused. I don't know. I feel like I'm drunk when I play this game sometimes, because you're like, I don't know how we're having such a great time, and then like, a game with so many trigger warnings and so much, like, heavy topics and, like, sad backstories, and you're like, but overall, the vibe is, like, having a fun little slice-of-life Hell Guardian game. Like, what the fuck? Why does that... Logically, it doesn't sound like it should work, but it does. I hope you're enjoying it. To be fair, again, none of these have posted yet. Like, absolutely none of them at this point. None of them. Like, so I hope you're gonna enjoy this and you're enjoying this. Kikinosuke's route will probably be fully done before any of these start posting, so... Yeah.
Like, but anyway, I will see you guys next time, i.e., tomorrow. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.